perspectives on personal mobile health applications, monitoring applications. And we will present at first a short introduction, then we'll move on to the technical matters. Afterwards, I will go to present the business aspects of it, and then we have prepared a case study with a granny for you. And at the end, we want to have a decision from the audience on the case. So, please technical things work? Yeah, it works. So, perspectives on mobile personal health monitoring. I already told you the agenda. And you might remember Steve Ballowin's talk about Internet of Things. So, personal mobile health monitoring applications usually work in the environment of Internet of Things. And Internet of Things is a network of physical objects or things embedded with electronic, software, sensors. And the important thing is that it has connectivity to enable objects to exchange data with the manufacturer, operator, other connected devices. There are many application areas of Internet of Things. If you see here, there are home applications, smart cities, smart offices. The applications are running through personal devices like mobile phones, also sensory devices like you have this fitness arm wristband. And there are many benefits for research development, also for legal departments, for policymakers, treasurers, security. So there are many areas where people can profit of Internet of Things and also maybe from some monitoring devices connected to it. So now I want to hand over to David. He's actually working behind.
I'm going to show up at the end.
Right? Yeah, we can show it maybe at the end. And, oh, it works. Perfect. So, let's change the view.
I would like to show you some of the possible problems that can happen with Internet of Things devices. I mean, every one of us has inside his pocket maybe one of the Internet of Things devices that we use like every day. So when you just like think of Internet of Things, you say, what can possibly go wrong? I mean, it's like tech that existed like since 10 years. Everything should go fine. But we will see that it's exactly not like this. As one of the presenters said the other days, cell phones actually broadcasts ESSIDs of the networks they've been attached to. I will show you just a quick demo on how you can do it. So, wireless network adapters can be put in monitor mode, and on Linux and with the right adapter is just 2 commands. Just putting the interface down, using the monitor mode, and putting it up again. And just stopping every service that could interfere with the process. Then there's a set of tools, which is iTrack, which I will use just to kill every process that can give problems.
Maybe you can hold your mic.
And yeah, okay. I'm using this tool just to say to the wireless network adapter to listen on some of the wireless channels I will use some of the most common ones, and I'm sure it will be possible to see something. Okay, I'm using the channel 6, 8, 11, 4, and 1. Okay, after this, we can just use one of the tools which maybe some of you already have used for like network courses in the university. And we can use it just to capture everything that is passing on these interfaces. Yeah, that's it. Can you see it? It's the wireless, the name of the wireless network that someone is attached to. Okay. Since there's like a lot of rubbish, you can just filter out the things that we are interested in. Yeah, so we can start seeing. I mean, this is creepy. So I hope you don't like feel uncomfortable with it. I can just see like the SSIDs of the places, open networks you've been attached to. So I've been doing this. I mean, someone has been at Cyclone here. So I've been like taking this data in this day in the last 2 days, and don't worry, I keep everything on an encrypted hard disk. I will bring everything later, so don't be worried about this. I did create a few scripts which I can show you and share them also with you. Shouldn't be a problem. And so one of the scripts that I created was just to manage all this data and put it into a database, which is MongoDB. It's used like for big data and this kind of management of data. Then I've seen that usually services online to track locations require the name of 2 wireless networks that are physically close for a privacy reason, but there's one that allows to use just one SSID. So I can just track where you've been using this service. Also, this service just has some limitations, so I said, okay, I maybe cannot use this service to do everything I want to do. I just need to take a look at the name of the networks. And so we can see UCSB, someone has been at Bushi Cafe, it's a nice cafe. Dakota, Toronto Pearson Airport, Heathrow, Posadas do Pirineus. It's awesome in Brazil. I recommend it to you. So if you just see one of the maps that just let me search for it. Here it is. The one on the right is from HITSA, the organizers of this summer school, and the one on the left. And the one on the right is one that I did create right now using this data. So you can see it's quite close. I mean, I didn't use even all the data I had. You can see that it's quite close. Imagine just like with 2 days, it's so easy to do something like this. Imagine with like more complex devices that like support like people, what can happen?
Scary, scary, scary. Then let's change the computer. And the next point of the agenda are the technical issues. There are some standards in place already, and my colleague Ines will present this.
Okay, thank you. We have 7 standards for IoT that develop protocols for that. One of them, that for me is the most important, is the IETF. The IETF is a group of people that develop protocols, and it's open to everyone, so if everyone is interested, you can join. The work is done in working groups through mailing lists. For IoT, there is a lot of working groups that working on. For example, we have a Syslopan working group that now is concluded, but they develop the main protocol Syslopan, and each RFC, each protocol is mandatory that has a security section. So for Syslopan, there was suggested use TLS, The next working group is CISLO. CISLO continue the work from CISLO PAN. They try to adapt CISLO PAN to different mass layer different for 15.4. And as well, they are working in, they have an active draft on IPsec. Okay, now for industrial part, they use the standard 15.4e, and they try to adapt CISLO PAN to that. And as well, they are working in the security and architecture consideration draft. All the security section in the IoT is in the early stage, so they are still working on. There is still no draft RFC for that. Okay, for routing, we have ROR working group. They develop RPL as well. RPL, they require some security aspect as well as for application layer. For IoT, the protocol is CoAP. As well, they are working in a draft for DTLS. Actually, there is a working group for that. Okay, like with NGM, they try to apply all the protocols. So they develop a draft for that, and they have an active draft in minimal infrastructure key change version 2. Okay, these working groups are specifically for security in IoT, and it's called ASE, and it's pretty new. And they have different drafts, active draft, not yet FECs. FECs are like published standards, right? So they have Fluffly, that's a simplified key exchange for concerned environments draft. All these drafts are in process. As well, there is this working group that they try to adapt TLS for IoT, and they have several as well active draft. There is still in progress, and there is like 3 weeks ago a new mailing list was open. It's called 6PAN, just to secure the bootstrapping section for IoT parts. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the technical perspective. I now want to draw your attention on the business perspective of this mobile health device monitoring. For me as a lobbyist in this role here, I want to say that mobile health or fitness monitoring devices, they have such a huge, great potential and the whole society can benefit from our more healthier lifestyles. As you see here, there are some applications which can be used. Wellness and prevention, chronic disease management, aging at home, or fitness devices. And the aspects which are beneficial for the whole society are that when we have more health-related information and can maybe increase the access for healthcare, also for hard-to-reach populations, we can actually improve the whole diagnosis system. We can track diseases better, more timely, more accurate, more actionable information on this public health information. And also we can maybe improve medical education online and training for health workers. So the whole society would be more healthy and more happy, as you see here on the picture, and we can increase patient satisfaction, the overall quality of healthcare, and maybe also decrease costs, also important in times like we're not living now. And as I said, maybe all the health system can benefit for more collaboration of the medical teams and more productivity. Okay, so hope you go for mobile health monitoring devices. We want you all track your data. And now let's move on to Justina, to the data protection base.
So, hello everyone. I will try not to bore you to death. It will be as much comprehensible and easy to understand as possible. So disclaimer, if I will avoid some details, it's not because I don't know about them, it's because I don't want to bore you. So let's start with very basics. So what are the personal data? What you should remember is probably all of the data. As you can see in the definition, any information about the person which is identified or possible with the reasonable sources to be identified. And what's the processing of personal data, which is crucial to the Data Protection Directive and regulations, is any operation on the data or set of data. The second thing you must know at the beginning is that we have some special categories of data, which we call sensitive data. They're in Article 8. And one of those sensitive data are data about personal health. And when we have data about personal health, they usually require higher standard of protection, like explicit consent for processing of such data, in some regulations even written consent, as we have in Poland. Because directive binds only countries, it's a minimum directive, so we can apply higher standards of protection. So that was for the beginning. Here, as you see, from lawyer's perspective, from user's perspective, that's my perfect world. And in my perfect world created, every user knows what data are being collected, for what purposes are processed, and who processed them, how are they transferred, what they can do with the data. Everyone is informed about everything, everyone is given consent, either written, explicit, and we have special provisions, strict liability, and all the regulations are written in plain, comprehensible language. That's the utopia presented. And we have our acceptable world, which was already mentioned here. Because the truth is that we are willing to give up on some our rights just to get cheaper or more useful product. Like, for example, we have YouTube advertisements, and YouTube is asking us what kind of, for example, what kind of cosmetics would you like to use? So I'm answering the question, and then they display the video for free, without any charge and no other ads. And I'm not asking them, what are you going to do with this data, because I just don't care. I want my free video, and I don't really care about the ads. So this is the world we are living in. And as one of the mentors already said, usually we start having problem with that when someone is making money of our data in the way we didn't expect it, and we don't think it's ethical, moral, fair, proportionate, right, as you want to say. And then when it's happening, we can either go to the social media and complain, or we can try to do something with that. And I would like to present the second scenario, when something happened and you want to do something about it. So this will be the case study, which you display. And at the beginning, I would like to thank to Ignacio for nice law introduction. And I will expand the matters which were already addressed. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so just easy. Imagine that this nice lady here is using a heart monitoring device, and only she and her doctor know how the data are being transferred and that she's actually using this device. Unfortunately, recently her insurance company refused to prolong her contract of insurance on the ground of her problems. Let's assume that the doctor is fine, he trusts him, he didn't do anything, so she suspects that the data leaked. So, what does every reasonable person in such situation? Of course, every reasonable person just go to lawyers and let them run every errand and go for a coffee with friends. That's easy. Just kidding. No one's going to lawyers first. Everyone will probably go to the shop where they bought the heart monitoring device. Then they would say that no, it's not us. We are just a retailer. Go to the distributors. So we go. And they send us the producer, because they are not those who are liable for the leak. And the producer says that, of course, no information about no leaks. And what is more, that actually the producer is a producer of the hardware, not the software. And probably the leak problem is connected with software, not the hardware. So he recommends us to go to the next place, which is software producer. And he's so nice to give us the address. Of course, to be easy, everything is going on in the same city. Okay? We don't have to travel around the world, just for now. So she's going to the software producer, who of course has no idea about any leaks. And what is more, he actually didn't produce the software because he licensed it. And of course, he's one more time very kind, and he is giving us the email address to the student who is the author of the software. And so our granny, 70 years old granny, contacts the student because, one more time, fortunately, she has a very talented daughter who's a programmist. And so they're going to ask the student to review the code so as to maybe on their own hand try to find the loophole and where the data leaked. But the student is smart. He had a basic intellectual property course at the university. And he knows that he is not obliged to enclose his code. What's more, and what's worse, he has a confidentiality contract with the licensee, so he's not going to reveal anything. So, after everything else failed, she seeks for help at the higher distance, so she goes to... oh, there was a graphic. I don't know, maybe there's some trademark regulation in Estonia, because it disappeared. It was Google here. Trust me, it was. That's weird. Okay? Maybe someone's hacking my presentation. Anyway, so she's going to Google, and she Googles the thing. Then she finds an article about Italian hacker who used the updates just to change the way in which the software functions. And because of this hacking attack, the data weren't sent directly to the lady's doctor, as they meant to be, but they were being sold to some company in China, and that company in China was selling the data to interested entities. So, the lady suspects that this hacking attack is the reason why the insurance company knows about her heart problems. Luckily, she manages to get in touch with China company, to whom her data were transferred. Okay, to be easy, Chinese company confirms they have the knowledge about ladies' health problems. However, they say that they had no knowledge about the hacking attack. They say that they were completely sure that the hacker is a trustworthy person, and the hacker obtained the data in a legal way. He provided some evidences on that. He assured them the data is fine, you can sell them, you have every consent, explicitly written everything. So, of course, the Chinese don't feel responsible for the data leak, and tells the lady, go find the hacker, because he's the one who is obliged right now to repay, to mitigate the damages. So, oh my god. Okay, so there is a picture of the old lady with the WTF face. I'm not going to look for the hacker, because of course I won't find him. So, she doesn't want to look for the hacker. This is quite obvious, because probably she has no chance to find it. So she just gets angry and frustrated, and she sues everyone else involved in the chain. Then the judge decides if they're guilty, probably of negligence or not. And here comes another problem, which was already addressed, namely, where and how should she proceed? So first, we have the right jurisdiction, so the right court, in which country, and second, this is a different thing, what is the applicable law? UK, where she lives. China, where the data were illegally transferred. Singapore, where lives the author of the software. Italy, where the hacker is coming from. US, where is the establishment of the company which licenses the software. We can add one more US company here, like in the chain, because I really like the US example. To make a small digression, I was quite interested in the Safe Harbor program. I even write a short article on this, but it's in Polish, so I'm not going to read it unless someone speaks Polish. And the Safe Harbor is the guarantee for us Europeans that the data are safe in US, which is kind of funny, because Safe Harbor works on the rule of self-certification, which is, Safe Harbor has some rules, like, yes, I find the data, yes, data are safe and stuff. And they self-certificate themselves. You know what is going to happen then. There was an Australian company called Galaxia, you can Google it, and they made research on how many companies from US actually are fulfilling the requirements of Safe Harbor. And as far as I remember, it was around 10% or something. So that's the level of data protection US. Anyway, coming back here. So we have the right jurisdiction, applicable law, and third, the right provisions. Because we have the civil law, probably torts or contracts, because we had some contracts involved. Second, we have criminal law, very territorial law, and administrative public law, because in some countries, like for example in my country, in Poland, data protection law is administrative law. So that's the third obstacle. So let the carnage begins. First, if anyone wants to go, just go. We have Brussels II EU regulation, which is the right regulation to determine the right jurisdiction. First problem, if it's actually covered by this regulation, if it's or it's not the administrative matters. Second, depending on the fact if someone is from member state or not, we are determining the jurisdiction. The problem is that we have other, yes, okay, Article 4 line 1, the last sentence, that if the defendant is not from member state, for example, from China, from Singapore, we need to use the state law to determine, and the state law can have very, very different rules, which we need to know. Probably, first we need to know the language, or find someone who's going to translate us Estonian law. Okay, finishing. It's getting to the end. Second, we have the Rome II regulation on the applicable law, and the weirdest regulation here is that Article 4, line 3, if we need to assess in which jurisdiction is it the most connected. Let's say, I think that is the fault of Italian guy, so let's use the Italian law. So this is quite weird. So well, maybe we can just stop here and stop analyzing the case, spare ourselves those problems, pay attention to our privacy, just don't make lawyers bored, don't get yourself bored. And here we are coming back to the main presentation, questions at the end, okay? Thank you for now.
Yeah, thanks for this amazing case study. And now we want to have a very lively discussion. Hopefully we have a minute time for it. We want to ask you who to blame in this chain of... What do you think?
No,
Yeah. Who is to blame?
give us a second. We have we try to make it easier for you. So there are the hoping questions, like how it should be regulated, who is to blame, how do you think it should be in the perfect world, where there is a trade-off. And I would like to stress one more thing. When we have life-saving device like heart monitoring system, it is probably like that people want it very much. So they are not paying attention very much to the privacy. They are going to have it anyway because they need them. So should we somehow make the business use higher privacy level? Because they are going to sell the products anyway because people need the products. So yes, that's the question to discuss. Anyone having any remarks? So if not, then we will finish and maybe discuss later.
I think next...